that Extension had this available to us, but had never experienced it or used it. But again, I was at those Gulf of Mexico Alliance meetings. We used those to gather input from the audience, and I just saw how well it worked. And then just so happened, after I got back from that, Dr. Harris had been to an Extension meeting and brought back one of the presentations from that showing the use of that. So I was like, okay, the stars have aligned. We need to get these guys out here. I think this is really a great tool that we could all use. I certainly plan on using it in some of our watershed planning activities, because you know how it is. You go out there, you try to get feedback from your stakeholders. You got one or two people that are just super vocal. They're the only two people that talk. The other 30 or 40 or 50 people in the audience never say a word, and so you assume, hey, everybody's okay with this, but that may be a wrongful assumption. So this technology should help us be able to gather some better input and data from our stakeholders. Did everybody get one of the clickers? We're going to be using these. Did anybody not get one? Okay, we'll distribute some. Make sure that you please return these. Each one of these costs, what, $10 or $20 a piece?
Probably about $40 or $50.
$40 or $50 a piece. Okay, so we don't want to lose any. Otherwise, Jackie's going to send me a bill. So.
Well, I started with 50 and I got 49, but I borrowed a set that started at 75 and they're down to 68.
All right. Without further ado, I'll let you take over, Jackie. Thank you.
Well, I enjoy this. It's not my real job, of course. I'm not a computer specialist. I'm not a technology person. I'm not in the IT department or anything else. I don't do this very often. I get a lot of requests for this after we started using them and had a lot of success with them and enjoyed using them. I did it a couple of times to kind of spread the word, and then I realized I was going to get invitations from all over the state, so I started restricting where I went to do this. And but Bill Harris is married to my cousin, so I felt obligated. I didn't want to cause any problems at the family reunion, so here I am. I'm actually an extension economist, not a computer person, but the background of this technology is goes quite a ways back. We started using some real ancient version of clickers back about 15-20 years ago in our Master Marketer program that we do all over the state. My department does, and we had some clickers that were all wired together. They were not wireless, and there was some kind of we'd have several stations, and we'd have a group of them hooked to a substation, and they were all wired together. And they were accurate sometimes, and sometimes they weren't. But we've gradually gone to this level, and I bought a set of these about 6-7 years ago, and been using them a lot since. We find that farmers like this when they're doing evaluations. They don't like to fill out an evaluation and turn it in. That's not how they operate. But they don't mind using the clickers. It's kind of fun, and we get it done quicker, and we probably get a higher percent of evaluations and other things done too. But all this is an add-on to PowerPoint. That's really all you got to know. It's designed to run with PowerPoint. That's how it operates. It's just an add-on. It's not the software really doesn't run the way I use it, separate from PowerPoint. So the TurningPoint is the program, and if you start it like I just did in TurningPoint, it will automatically attach TurningPoint as an add-on. It'll give you additional thing. I'm running an old version of PowerPoint here. You can see my computer's behind here, but Maybe I answered the wrong question there. Okay. Before I go any further, you'll see up there I'm pointing to TurningPoint. If you haven't used TurningPoint, that's not a menu item. That's not something you can click on. But I'm running the add-on TurningPoint, so it's up there. But and I'm just going to load a file that that's got some things built into it, and then we'll talk about it in a minute, just how that happened. There's a lot of ways you do this. Sometimes you may have a turning point or a file that's got some of these questions in it, and you keep that separate, or you may put it in your presentation. Usually I have them in my presentation because it had something to do with the workshop we're doing, and we're asking questions or something in there. I've got two PowerPoint files that we're going to use. One of them is going to have questions that Courtney did for you guys that's related to this meeting, and the other one has questions in it that just for me to talk about. In this presentation, you'll see that there's regular slides, and then every once in a while I put a question in there. So, and sometimes when we use this, a lot of our county agents have this technology. All the district extension offices, I think, have this, and they loan it out sometimes to various people. And so we evaluate a lot of our extension meetings with this. And so when we do that, it's usually just one PowerPoint file that's got all questions in it. It's a little more complicated when you have regular slides and then PowerPoint in there with it to coordinate it and realize when you're saving what as you go through it. But anyway, now I'm in my presentation, and then as I go through here, I'll talk about, and I'll show you some questions as we go through. But what this is just a way to get input back from the audience quickly. Everybody at the same time, and you can do a questionnaire that it might take you 15 minutes to do 5 questions and give people time to read them. It seems like they go quicker this way, and you get it immediately. And if you want to show the results of it on the screen right then, you can. I'm doing that today as we go through even the questions that you're going to do to evaluate this meeting. I'm going to show the results up here on the screen so you can see it quickly. That's not necessary, and sometimes you may not want to do that. But anyway, it is a PowerPoint add-in. So you have to have PowerPoint, and then you build your slide in PowerPoint, you put your questions in and all that. But it allows you to do it sometimes in a fun way, and you have the data already there, and you can put the data. The program will save it in a PowerPoint file for you and even do some graphs for you, whatever. But when I've used it, it's a way that I get information from the farmers that I'm working with in a workshop. We may ask them questions about things that just to bring up discussions, and we may be doing a budget or a cotton budget, and we're wanting to know what's the price of diesel in their community, or what are they paying for nitrogen, or there's all kinds of questions we'll ask, and we get input real quick from everybody, and people that even the co-op guy that's selling the fertilizer will answer this when he can be anonymous here. But also we do it to get their opinions about where the cotton prices are going, see if they've understood something we just covered. That's a real valuable time to use it. Now I know these are not really some of the uses that you're thinking about doing it with, but just to tell you some of the things we do with it. I'll ask them a question that's really critical that they understand that. So as soon as we've covered it, we'll ask it. And I've got an example, a couple examples here in a minute. We'll do that. But of course, evaluation and impact of your program and all these kind of things. And extension is important. I know it's important to you too. But you also want to get information from them, and feedback from them, what you're doing right, what you're not doing right, or some ideas from them. There's all kinds of ways you can get it, even from a fairly large group. Let's practice with them a little bit. And the only way to is there anybody in here that's never seen these clickers? Oh, well, okay. We're talking to we got some that can learn some here. I thought you'd probably all seen them before. What you'll do is you'll answer just by clicking the button. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way through 10, and it's got letters and numbers. Most of my questions I do them with numbers, but it'll work either way. And we'll go to our first question, and this first question, it's to illustrate a point that I wouldn't expect hardly any of you to have any idea the answer to this question. But after we've covered this in a workshop, we expect them to know, because it's important that they know that if they sell a put instead of buying a put, and all this is Greek to you, but after we've spent 5, 10, 15 minutes going through this, that they really understand that if they sell a put, it's a margin position. And I don't care that you understand that right now. But we really need to know that they answer that right. And all we got is true, false, and we expect all of them to say which. Go ahead and answer it. We'll be worried if they don't say true. So let's go ahead and answer it. It says it's green up there, and it says polling is open. So it's ready for you to click on it. And I see that we've already got 42 responses. And I'll add mine to it. Maybe I didn't. Yeah. So we'll see how you did in working that problem. I don't know how many we got here, but that's probably not everybody. But I wouldn't expect all of you to answer this. I'll move on, and I've got it where it will on the screen summarize it. And so you quickly got the information. 87% of you got that right. It was true. And probably the ones that didn't get it right were before I gave away the answer. But it's not important that you know this. It's important that the farmers we're working with know that if they were going to sell a put, they had to put up margin money to do that. And we use it that way a lot. Or like on this next one, we give them a little problem to work. We have done examples like this. We've done a couple examples. And now we want to test them right then. This is not to see how good we did, really. This is to see if we can go on to the next step. Because this is a simple example of a farmer that wants to look at buying a put to set a floor on his price. And this is all the information he needs to calculate that. And we want to be sure, since we've just done this 2 or 3 times, we're going right to this, and we want to be sure with some different numbers that they can give us the answer. And if we don't get about 95% correct answers here, we're going to go do it again. We're going to work this one, and then we're going to go back and work another one probably. So it works real good. I got a few of you that evidently the ones that think they know the answer here. We got a few. So I'm going to just go with the ones that we've got, and we got some people that know what's going on here. That's good.
If I punch my response card 5 times,
it'll take your last answer.
Oh, okay. So it's reading, my response card, and then I punch it again. Well,
it updates yours.
It's not going to give me 5 answers.
Until I stopped it, you could keep updating your answer.
Okay.
But it just counts you once.
Okay.
This is the kind of question that we ask, when we start trying to evaluate how good a job we're doing with something. We want to know whether they're using it or whether they think it's going to increase their profitability. That's the kind of thing that even with we need dollar signs on it. Our big boss, Ed Smith, wants that really bad, so we've been trying to figure out how to do it. We got some responses here, but it's not really the responses that I'm trying to get, but I like your answers. This would be a question that I stole from our cotton agronomist, and that I've seen him use a good number of times at meetings where he talked about cotton varieties and which ones to use and which ones were susceptible to this and which ones resistant to all kinds of things. And then he quickly wants to be able to report to his department head in College Station that they're all adapting his technology and making a lot of money from it. And so that's why we ask those kind of questions. And I don't know what y'all had to base this on. I guess undecided is the best answer. But not only do you get a quick response, you've got the data. I've got that data. It's with this file now. All those questions you answered, and I can save that session. If I call this a session so far, I really wouldn't call it a session, but we could save that data. And then you could go into that file that's been saved and quickly generate a report, and it'll summarize the answers for you, and even build you a little chart. Or you can it'll be in Excel when you generate that, and you can do what you want to with the data, but you'll have it all right there. Now, that's what I'll do with with Courtney's questions. When you get through answering them, I'll save them. I'll save that session. I won't be saving this PowerPoint presentation. I'll be saving just the data from the questions, and then I'll go to that and we'll look at the report. And that's what I was saying there. But what all the hardware is, what comes with this? When you buy one for something like this, if you're going to get 50 of them, 50 clickers, it's probably going to cost $2,500 or something, and you'll get 50 of the little clickers. You'll get a USB sensor here. It's a little thing. It's a receiver. I hesitate to pick it up. I might mess up some of the wires or something. But that little thing, it's a little USB receiver, and that's how your information is getting into my computer. And there's a software that goes with it. You can get that off the internet, but when you buy one, I don't know how they used to. Back in the old days when I bought mine, they used a CD. I don't know. They may just require you to get it off the internet now. But that's all you get, and a little. We're going to go build a slide real fast. In this presentation, if I decided I wanted another question slide in here, I'd just go out of the presentation mode, and just like you were going to add another slide, you'd click on new slide there, if you can see where I'm pointing there. But that's not what I'm going to do, because I want a question slide. So I'm going to need to go I'm going to click. Can you see my mouse moving there? Okay. I'm going to click on the TurningPoint. That brings up different features. It's running along with PowerPoint. So there's an insert slide function right there. So I'm going to click on that, and then it'll ask me various questions. But one thing I can tell it how I want the data summarized on the chart. Not a real important thing, but there's a lot of other things, but we're not going to get into those. I'm just going to say it's a vertical slide just like that, and we've been looking at. So then this question comes up. This is a template for you to build a question slide on. This part up here is where you put your question. Water is. This is the water meeting. And you can pick some of these. You could probably come up with some other things, but we've got us a question slide now. Of course, we've got to be in that slide, and I'm going to call it up. So, oops. So it's ready for you to answer. That's all I did. I mean, you may have spend a little more time on your questions and have more answers than that, but that's really all you need. You got the essentials. You got the question and you got the answers, and then y'all answer some, so we'll have something to move on with. Oh yeah, y'all are quick. This is an opinion. This might be my opinion, and most of you agree with me. But that's all you do to do a question, and you can just click on to add another one and add as many slides as you want with your questions, and all the questions are that data is with this file here. If you just got out of the PowerPoint without doing what you'd call saving the session, you may not have the data. I mean, you've saved the file, it'll save one session with it. But when you're asking questions and evaluating the meeting, you need to save that session so you'll have it and give it the name of the day and whatever when you did that. Okay. But what you do, you create a slideshow, then you put some questions in there, or you just go in and start you a PowerPoint file and it's all questions. It could be just all questions. Maybe you have an introductory slide, and then all the rest of them are questions. Some important, all this is in the manual, but that you can print out off the internet for Turning Point. But the key point is you got to know the difference in what a session is and in what the presentation is. The presentation is the PowerPoint part of it. And if you save that, you save what you see, the PowerPoint part. If you need to save that data of the answers that were given, you're saving the session. And you save that through the PowerPoint menu. We're in the PowerPoint menu there. I clicked on it. If I went back, I'd click back on the home. I'd be back in PowerPoint. But if I want to be in the Turning Point, there's a place over here to save the session. So I'd be saving all the data. We'll do that with your question, your real questions that you're going to answer here in a minute. We're just going to cover that one time. I was planning to do it twice, but I'm sure I'm running way past when I need to quit. So I'm going to just get out of this. I'm going to close this. I'm not saving the data. Just made up questions and things here. I'm not saving anything. It gives you all kinds of warnings before you get out to be sure I realized that what I was doing. But now I'm going to go back and start my PowerPoint through the Turning Point icon there, so that it has attached the Turning Point to it. And now I'm going to call up the questions that Courtney gave me. I hope I put them in there right. And I think you've got them on the back part, the last part of your handout too. So I'm going to open it's a PowerPoint file, but it's got some Turning Point questions in it, and it's mostly questions. Okay, these are, after this slide, there's nothing but questions. And this is kind of the way we do it. If we got a regional cotton meeting or something, then we may have 7 or 8 people on the program. We're going to evaluate it all at the end of the program. And we'll have just one introductory slide, and then the rest of them are going to be questions, and we do the same thing in all those similar meetings. We'll do the same thing. Question?
I noticed they have, what I'm assuming are ID numbers on the back of them. Could they be not anonymous?
Yes.
Could you check them out, and then you would be able to cross-reference that?
That's the way they're used in classrooms. I guess probably a lot of you used them in classes. But yeah, they have a number to each one of them. But I have never even used that feature. I have been in situations where they did. I could attach your name to that clicker, and then we could do grading, and we take pop quizzes and all kinds of stuff with it. Okay. I've done that in class, but we had a little different kind of clickers then. But okay, we're ready to answer Courtney's questions. You got any introductions here, Courtney? What you're going to do with this? Okay, first question. What is your overall satisfaction with this roundtable? And be sure you realize that A is not the best. I mean, we like and she used letters. I always use numbers on mine, but that's fine. Either way it works. But 4 is better than 1 here, so keep that in mind. And we're going to watch. I've got it so it'll summarize it too. And a lot of times in evaluations we don't do this, but that's just a matter of opinion. We're going to assume that 53 is 54. Anybody else still want to answer? Okay, we're moving on. 50% said good. That's okay. And 83 total said it was either good or excellent. I like that. Did a good job, Courtney. Kevin or whoever here. The next question, which roundtable topic was most valuable to you? Now, be sure you realize that further down you go, there's some other things at the bottom. Don't forget that there's a D. This is probably not the topic that people will ask you, what did you learn about water when you get back, or whatever it is you're supposed to learn. But anyway, we got 52, 53, number 54, that'd be it, I guess. Unless we got more here. Okay. Well, got 11%. That's pretty good for a not a real topic. Okay. Well, the panel discussion is beneficial. I don't know if you had those yet. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, there won't be any use having that. We'll just move right on. But that's yes. You were getting 62% going that liked it okay. Will information presented at today's roundtable assist you in moving forward in your watershed? You kind of have to study these a little. Takes you a while to get these questions, work on these questions a little. But we got more answer to this than we did any other. Somebody else joined us here. Yes, that's a pretty good answer. 67% was in the last 2. That's good. But again, all this data is being saved, and as soon as we get through here in a minute, I'll show you how we save it and how it can be used, and then we'll move on. I know we got real stuff to talk about. How do you feel about the discussion time during previous and future roundtables? I don't know if that's happened yet or not either. But you'll get a preview of the kind of questions you're going to get if they get some of these to use at these meetings. Okay, moving on. I'm going to go on to the next question. Which date? Now this is the date. This is a way to get real good information quick. You might have to look into calendars. Which date do you prefer for the July 12th roundtable? Is this a real question, Courtney? Yeah. We'll give them a couple. We'll give them another minute on this in case they need to look at something. I don't know what the user feedback is. It must have been a non. I think that's a non-number. I think you hit something else. Maybe you hit the question mark. Yeah. I don't know what to do with that. Has somebody got a question?
I was just wondering what the question mark was.
Okay. I guess that's what it's for. I've never had one before. I've been using it 6 years. I never noticed it anyway. Okay, we must have about everybody. Let's find out when the meeting's going to be. Well, looks like it might be everybody's wanting to wait as long as they can. Now the next one needs to be in Lubbock. Because I don't know if y'all ever go to Lubbock, but if you can make it rain like this, we'd probably pay all your travel or something. Okay, next question. We got to get these finished. Which location do you prefer for the July 12th roundtable? Well, I don't even see anything close.
How many of these things do you go through a year? How many don't get returned to you?
Well, you know, I've got one that I've used for 6 years, and I had 50 clickers, and I had all 50 until about 3 weeks ago. I lost one. But now, our district extension administrator, not quite so lucky with his, he's had these a year, and there's 75 in here, supposed to be, and now he's got 68, so his have been going down pretty fast.
How often do you have to change the batteries?
You know, I don't know. I've got 3 of mine that the battery's low, and I've had them 5 or 6 years, so they may all be about to go. That's why we use the newer ones today, because I think I'm about to hit that point. Okay, let's find out where the meeting's going to be. Whoa, College Station. I think that was biased by a few in here that might just want to sleep at home or something. You might have to throw that one out. Just go. It may San Antonio sounds pretty good. And this one probably, Courtney, I think you put too many answers on this, but we'll put it here. Which topic would you most like to see included in the July 12 roundtable agenda? We'll give you a little bit of time. Those all sound like good things.
Something like this, is it possible to get a second choice, or?
Yeah, there would be. I didn't set these up. You can give them up to several. I don't know how many you can do. I guess you can make it where they can do them all, but I've used it where I've say select your 2 out of 5 or something. You can do that. There's a lot of different ways you can set this up. But I kept them simple here.
What is that? That's what happens after a WPP is whatever.
It's complete. D sounds like must be the favorite there. Would you like to see presenters from various watersheds in each roundtable agenda? Yes or no, quickly? Mostly yes. What would you expect, though? Are you interested in hearing from presenters from around the U.S. working on watershed protection plans? Yes, you did today. But, well, that's a quick response, too. Not quite as strong. Do you think future roundtables should be 2 days? We want their quick response, right? 55, okay. That is mostly 2 days. Yeah. Would you participate in a 2-day roundtable if the field trip to a local watershed was included? She's trying to set that up for yeses. Okay, I'm going. This one and one more. If you're a member of the Watershed Coordinator's listserv, has it been helpful? You have nothing to lose to say yes here. Go ahead. Shouldn't be quite as many. Good. And did you know the bacterial source tracking conference is being held next month in New Brunswick? You're getting quick. That's good. Okay. Anybody got a quick question? I know I'm over here. It's not hard to use.